Welcome to Unmedicated Podcast. Oop, I almost fucked up the board already.
Yeah, he means uneducated guesses.
Oh yeah, that too. That's the right word. Yeah, welcome to Uneducated Guesses. So I'm Talon. That's
Justin.
And guess who's back, guys?
Michael's back.
Mike's back.
It's been a minute, but I'm back.
This is
ready.
what Mike looks like, by the way. So,
Hello, audience.
sorry.
I kind of feel bad I'm not wearing my Michigan stuff. So
I know,
I know.
man. It's tomorrow, man.
It
You
is
gotta just be
tomorrow.
supporting.
You better go run and put it on.
Should I?
Yes.
Or at least,
Okay. Well, you guys get talking. I'll be right back.
Good.
All right.
I'll try to step quiet.
yeah, because it gets a little loud. Let's see how creaky it sounds. Well, Mike, welcome back to Uneducated Guesses.
Thanks for inviting me back on.
You were actually the first person that actually was on our Uneducated podcast because beforehand we were known as 2.5 Beards.
Mm-hmm.
Half Beard decided not to show up. And so we had to change our name and welcome back. So this is your first time seeing the studio.
Yes, it looks fantastic.
Does it? Okay. I'm glad you like it. These soundboards are our latest addition. Justin made them himself. We bought the foam paneling, but he did all this woodworking himself. So I'll actually give him a little praise on that.
I like it a lot.
Over your audience.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We actually have a live audience. Carly's in the corner over here near me. Here. Oh, there's her hand. Yeah. So if I can give you one big tip, just to say it on camera because I know how I am. The camera right there. Don't look at yourself right there. That's my biggest problem. So.
I focus
Oh.
with the camera. We didn't get much time to talk.
Oh.
I don't have a lot of Michigan. I got to get a new one.
Welcome back to Uneducated Guesses, Justin.
Wow. Thanks. Welcome back to my own house.
I was just admiring your woodworking ability.
Your nice setup you got here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
From the first time I was on here to now, you made a lot of improvements. That
Different.
whole wall
Totally
is put up,
different
I
area
think,
of the
now.
house.
That's a different location. Yeah,
It feels more official.
it does.
A lot more official. So.
Well, eventually we will. I'm going to get another light because it's a little dark on this side. But, you know.
Right.
I'm enjoying it. I like it. It's a vibe down here.
Oh, it is. And I should really try to remind you to at least take a photo or something so people actually know what the rest of the studio looks like.
Yeah, true.
Because it's a very impressive setup, and I feel like the people would actually like to see it. Because like what you guys don't see is a bunch of like the camera equipment, the lighting, and all that. But it's actually like it's pretty sexy. Not gonna lie, the light setup it just looks good. You did a good job, Justin.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Okay.
good job.
We don't need to talk about every single thing, right?
What? You're just good. He knows his wood is what I'm trying to say.
Got one.
Got wood. So obviously you guys are U of M fans.
Yeah, we're pretty damn excited.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Oh, my God. I'm so excited.
Explain your guys' excitement because I know Michigan fans haven't felt this since
Well,
you were born.
technically before I was born.
Oh yeah.
Last time they played for a national championship, not really, because it was the Rose Bowl. It wasn't actually a title game because the BCS was made the next year, so or inaugurated.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, it was January of '98 that they played the Rose Bowl and won the national championship the last time. So,
Oh okay.
about 6 months before I was born.
Okay.
So, no, I've never been this excited.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be interesting. What about you?
Yeah, a lot of frustrations
A lot of
over
frustrations.
the years. But,
Alright.
you know, it's Michigan versus everyone. And this team is just one step closer to winning it all and proving to everybody that they got it. You know, prove all the haters wrong, all the doubters.
Didn't need no damn signs.
No damn
Come on.
signs. Yeah, it's just this team has been very fun to watch all year. And college football this year has just been awesome in general. Like,
Right.
it's been just a great year in general. And the Big Ten needs to finish strong. Michigan needs to go all
Can't
the
none
way.
of the other Big Ten teams are doing anything. But now we're gonna have 2 Big Ten teams in the national championship.
That's
Big
great.
20.
It's weird to say that because you're like, yeah, well, it's the Pac-12 and the Big Ten, but you're like, well, technically it's 2 Big Ten teams. But all
I mean,
we know-
technically not. Technically, they are still part of the Pac-12.
yes, and if they
but-
win, it will be the final win for their Pac-12.
Yeah, and
Run.
it's not gonna happen.
Okay, you guys are that confident that you guys are going to win?
You
So,
got-
let me
you
ask
gotta-
you-
See,
You
okay.
gotta speak it into existence.
Okay, let me
We're not
ask you
trying to
this.
sound cocky or anything.
Okay.
I'm not 100% confident Michigan's gonna go in there and win. I think that their defense is gonna slow down that offense. They're going to get their yards, like I was saying before we started. Or Washington's going to get their yards no matter what. You can't stop them the whole game.
Right.
I think if Michigan plays bend but don't break, they're going to get down the field. But where you're best at is in the red zone.
Right.
But I think that's also where they're best at too. So it's gonna be interesting. And I think if Blake Corum has a good game, then it's gonna be a good game for Michigan.
So what do you two believe is your guys' biggest hurdle of this game tomorrow?
Slowing down the receivers.
So Rome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm worried for
It
the
could be
receivers.
between that and getting pressure on Penix. Because I guess he's been really good against pressure.
Okay.
At least that line has, because they've only allowed 11 sacks all season.
Very true.
Michigan's not much worse, I think, at 18. But it's kind of what happens when you have a mobile quarterback.
If we saw
Yeah,
last
hopefully they don't
game,
hear that.
obviously,
Oh.
yeah, the special
Yeah, see-
teams was the biggest downfall. But I feel like if we clean up special teams,
I mean, they had a month off, I think.
yeah,
Mistakes are going to happen.
100%. Oh yeah, I'm just glad they're
And-
able to rally back and win it all or win that game.
See, the one thing I will say about that though is that I understand that everybody on that team is important, and you can't tell me that JJ and everybody else weren't sitting off at the sideline for that whole month. Obviously, they were practicing.
Yeah, of course.
But don't you think that if your one job is kicking, you would practice every
Well,
day?
there's different aspects you have to look into. First off, it's game speed. That's not practice speed.
True.
You got players actually coming down to take your fucking head off and take that ball.
Do you think they don't practice that?
They're not playing
Not as heavy in
full-
practice.
Fair enough.
No, they wouldn't. do that.
Every player would say it. It's never the same in practice. Because, like it or not, the opponent teams, the players, if they can hurt you, they're gonna fucking do it.
Oh yeah.
Get the playmakers out of the game, and it's easier to win. Whether they're getting paid for that or not, you know what I'm saying? Like
Oh, yeah.
old Steelers, what was that, Bounty Gate or something like that? Remember that?
I don't.
I think it was the Steelers. Oh, this is 2010s, early 2010s, maybe late 2000. But players were getting paid to
Knock the shit out of the
purposely
kickers.
injure or take players out of the game.
Yeah.
But
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay. I do
And
know
you
what
also
you're
have to
talking
think-
about now.
so the one that he muffed, not the last one that almost cost us the game, but the first one, he's trying to run up. It's already hard enough to catch a punt. But he's trying to run up and make a play, because I guess if you saw other camera angles, there's no one really in front of him. He catches that, he's moving.
Mhm.
He's getting a lot of yards. But like I said, he's running up, trying to catch a punt with the sun right in front of him, right in his face.
Right.
You got to make the catch or you got to let it bounce. I agree. He's also trying to make a play on a big stage, you know?
Very true.
He just allowed the other team to make the big play that time. And that other one where he muffed it at the 5,
Mm-hmm.
that one was just let it bounce.
Right.
Don't let the other team possibly win on the worst possible way.
Right.
Second worst. Trouble with the snap. Punt. Michigan almost lost their second worst way.
Yeah.
On a punt.
Yeah.
Michigan State. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, that
But either way, that doesn't matter. That's the past. That team
memory
sucks
is
ass.
always haunting.
Yeah. It's going to be a very interesting game tomorrow.
Yeah, I think
Honestly,
Michigan just needs to stay out of their own way.
Yeah.
Play their way. and
Don't
I
get
think they'll win.
cocky.
I don't think they're going to.
I sure as shit hope they don't either.
I think after the last 2 years, they're ready. That's why a lot of players came back.
Mhm.
What about you? You got any? I know I kind of covered a lot there. but
Yeah, no, pretty much what you said.
Oh, and see.
No, the last 2 years, they got obviously upset by TCU and Georgia. It was ugly. What Michigan needs to not do is not get into a shootout with Washington,
definitely.
because both quarterbacks are very good.
Yeah.
And Penix Jr. has proved it all year that he's not the same quarterback that he was when he was at Indiana.
Right.
But I feel like both quarterbacks are really going to sling the ball tomorrow, and they're just going to put their best offenses out there and just see what happens. If Michigan plays very good defense and they can play man-on-man very good, if they can clean up the special teams, then I feel like we'll have a very good shot. I don't think it's going to be a blowout victory at all,
I don't. Yeah.
It's gonna be.
but it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a very entertaining one. I think so. I just hope the best team comes out in the end. Hope Michigan can stay focused and just know why they're here again.
Would you guys be entirely mad if Washington did win?
Yes. This
We're
year,
Michigan fans. Well, we
Like,
don't wanna lose.
understandable.
We're just
pissed,
happy
or just
Alabama's
pissed about
because
everybody?
if they lose now, what
It's
team
still
is
a
Michigan?
failure.
What team is Michigan to bring in that's going to win that title?
In the
Because
12
this
team
year
playoff.
we have so many. Our depth chart for our team is so big. Like, we can go out there against Penn State and play 47 people, or how many players you travel with the team. I feel like after this year, it's going to be very hard to do that again. Because you have so many veteran players like Corum and McCarthy who have been here and see the offense. I feel like this year is the best year to do it. Like they said, it's championship or bust. And I think that's it. I think we're not going to, if they lose, it's not going to be like, oh, man, Washington deserves it. Like, no, like, we came so close, we still missed it, you know? It's going to be a very good game, a lot of emotions tomorrow. And that's why you got to play the game, though.
I mean, there's no animosity against Washington, of course.
No, I had no beef.
But Michigan just kind of has to win this one.
It's their year. It's Michigan's year.
I feel like you guys would have.
Could say the same thing about Washington.
Yeah.
But
I
they haven't been
Alabama-
through the same stuff that Michigan has
Yeah, that's true.
the last couple of years.
That's how I feel about it.
I just feel like all the people that were in the playoffs, like Washington, I guess would be like the least one to worry about. No, now they are the one to worry about, but like I feel like you guys would have more of a hatred towards Alabama if they
And Texas,
won.
yeah.
And Texas, obviously.
Although I think Michigan's played Washington more than they played Texas.
Did you guys see how it's going to work out? I saw something the other day where it said, so they're playing Washington tomorrow, and they're playing. I can't remember who their first team was. Texas.
That's a second game.
Oh,
the first game is
big game,
a cupcake game.
Big games, I mean. So then they play Texas. Then they play, I believe, Washington again.
They play them in October,
Oregon.
early October, I think. So
Yeah, and then Oregon, and then Ohio State.
don't play Penn State for a couple years.
That's very interesting, but
There's a lot of teams. Can't play them all. So.
that's true. That's true. So
I don't
yeah,
know. I think though this matchup is probably the best for Michigan because
Oh, 100%. I think
this
so,
is the
too.
team that they're supposed to beat.
are you
Because
more
they're built a lot like Ohio State was.
right? Were you guys more worried about Washington or Texas?
I think Texas is a
Texas.
more physical team.
Mhm.
They run better. Obviously, they average like almost 7 yards a carry against Washington,
Right.
which is not good for Washington coming into this game because I think Corum is one of the best backs in the country,
Oh, 100%.
behind one of the best lines in the country.
He's probably going to go. Do you think he's going to go top 10 in the draft?
No, he's small. Small in the ACL injury he had last year.
Mm.
That stuff usually comes back to bite you. I think he's probably second round. I can see him going second round.
What if he comes home to Detroit?
I'd be okay with it.
Is he from Michigan?
No.
Where's he from?
Oh, shit. I don't remember.
You need your keyboard.
No.
I looked him up the other day too. I don't know. I
want to say like
think
Eastern State.
I don't know.
Eastern State. Let's go with I don't know. Vermont.
Can we talk about the viewers for
It's
the
from
Michigan
Virginia.
Michigan Alabama game though?
27.2 million, I think it was.
It peaked at 32 million viewers.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
yeah, it peaked.
That's
The constant viewing was 29. It
Oh,
peaked
29?
at 32,
Okay.
and that's just insane.
So I wanted to talk about this because I always find it hilarious.
Go for
So
it.
I don't know if you guys know this, but like Justin here is a huge Michigan fan, and watching him react to games is one of the funniest things I've come to find out. So,
I do big claps.
just
I'm
no,
a
you
clapper.
do a big clap.
Yeah, I do.
Touchdown! Yes.
No, I do a test clap. And then
Yes.
I was telling them, I was like, it's like when you hit a nail with a hammer. You gotta do tap, bam. You know, you gotta find your spot. What do you want to do? You don't want to miss your clap, you know.
Not where your hands are.
Well, I know they are, but like I know where a hammer and a nail
Like,
is, but I can still
and
miss
bam,
it.
there we go.
But yeah, I'm a big clapper,
Mhm.
or I'll yell. I'm not like a screamer or anything, but I'll do
No,
like a
you're
big
not.
yell. And,
You're the worst person I've ever seen, but you're not the worst person. I guess I don't see much reaction.
I guess I'm Hitler. No,
Yeah,
no.
I didn't say that, but you know.
He's comparing me to the worst person in the world. So
You think Hitler's the worst person in the world?
I mean, he's dead now, so I guess not technically anymore. But
That's another
Who is?
debate for another day.
Who is?
Currently?
Yeah. I don't know.
For these two, it's probably
Probably
Michael
Kim.
Penix, but
No, there's no hate for him.
No.
Unless he tears Michigan apart. Then there will be hate.
right.
And I hope he hurts another ACL.
Can we
I'm
talk,
kidding.
can we talk about another fun thing, too, that I just thought about before I forget about it?
No.
Is that Kyle
Anyway.
McCord transferred to Syracuse, and they got destroyed
That's what we
in
can
their
talk
bowl
about.
game.
Well, yeah, we'll move on to the transfer portal because transfer portal has been blowing my mind lately where some of these people are ending up. So, yeah, let's start talking about Mr.
McCord.
Kyle McCord going to
Honda McCord.
Huh?
Honda McCord.
Mr. couldn't beat Michigan, so he had to transfer.
Yeah, and it seems like Kansas State's quarterback is interested in Ohio State. So that would
Well,
be
he
interesting.
committed.
Did he commit? I didn't see
Yeah.
that yet. Okay, I saw that he was visiting Ohio State. I didn't see the official commit though.
They just got another Kyle McCord. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah, he's not really any good.
Well, Kansas State didn't do horrible at all. Granted, they are in the
yeah, but
Big
they're
12.
the same style quarterback.
True. Granted, they are in the Big 12 though. But like, there's really only two teams in the Big 12 now. I feel like, and it's Oklahoma State and Kansas State. Iowa State doesn't do much.
I mean,
TCU
Colorado
is-
could get good.
Yeah, now
Dude,
that Colorado's back,
Sanders, man, has been attacking that transfer portal.
I don't know though, because Arizona's also going into the Big 12, and they did not have a disappointing season.
Yeah, they had pretty good. They took teams to the wire.
Yeah, very.
They
Like,
almost beat Washington.
Yeah, Colorado's building that O-line for his quarterback. A couple of
Yeah, they do that. They'll be good.
top 10
Offensively.
linemen.
Their
So-
defense needs work.
so let me ask you this. Okay, so we'll go back to the transfer portal stuff in a sec. So obviously, there's going to be the Big Four conferences because the Pac-12 stand. Actually, the Pac-2 is still a thing, I guess, but I really do think they're going to dissolve. And Oregon State and Washington State are probably going to move on either to a Group of 5 team, or maybe they get lucky and be able to join like another team in the Big 12. But knowing like Cal and Stanford, they might join the ACC for all we know. We don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that works.
So in the ACC currently, who do you think is going to be the top person in like 5 years?
Top team?
Top team. Without even thinking
It's
about it.
5 years.
If everybody stays, who do you think?
Well, I don't know. Because Florida State was good, but I think they were pretty like top heavy in like seniority.
Mhm.
And that's why they were kind of good.
All these teams.
Clemson
changing
usually
conferences.
does really well in recruiting and whatnot.
Right.
It's hard to bet against Clemson.
Am I able to get the?
See,
Internet
now the
conference.
problem with
Yeah.
Clemson is Dabo Sweeney does not adjust to the transfer portal. That's why he didn't do as good
Yeah,
this year.
true.
It's because he does not like the transfer portal.
And he also
He's stuck in his own ways and doesn't want to go after all these people. So he just all he likes is just the recruiting part, and that's it. His own guys, not you come to this school and not. He doesn't like doing that, and he needs to adapt to the new
Middle.
way college football is going. Because if he doesn't attack the transfer portal and doesn't get any of these key
the
players,
middle one.
Oh,
You can go full screen, but
then
I didn't know what you meant.
he's gonna be in trouble a couple years here.
I mean he was kind of in trouble.
Because
this year.
Clemson they were better toward the end of the year. They were at the start, they were sluggish.
And that's kind of what you expect with good coaches. He's going to get them ready toward the end. That's kind of like how Alabama was. They
True, they started off
real
really
poor.
slow. Yeah, let's take a look here.
Hold on, I need to find a good one.
Yeah, so
What is it again, Justin? Zoom in.
I don't think you're going to get any better zooming in.
No,
It's
that's-
already pretty.
It's actually a bad photo. Sorry, I'm just trying to pull up the current ACC.
Try that. No, the first one's bad too.
This one?
No, that one's going to be. All right, now do Control Plus.
Cool.
It doesn't like getting images. You're doing great.
Okay, can you guys still see those teams though?
No.
No. Is there a way I can move it?
Click on the link.
Click on the link.
You clicked and dragged a little bit.
All right. Whoa.
Now try zooming in.
Okay, perfect. Kind of. Okay, so looking at these teams, let's see.
Right click on that. Open it. Yep, that one. Now click up there.
Okay, perfect.
There we go.
So now we got the ACAC in front of us, and looking at that, if I had to guess who the top team in 5 years would be, none of the new teams are going to be up there. So in my opinion, it's either going to be Florida State, Clemson, or a surprising contender, maybe North Carolina or Miami. But if I had to pick one,
team out
Miami
there.
Miami keeps getting hyped up, and then they just turn out to
What
be
about
shit.
Duke? They were good at the beginning of this year. I mean, they kind of fell off at the end, but
True.
Yeah,
they started off hot.
Leonard got hurt, so I mean that's kind of where they.
So Duke, I could see future being relevant.
Looking at this, if I had to pick one team, though, just one, I would still pick Florida
Definitely
State.
Stanford.
I say Florida State too.
I would say Florida State. I just feel like they have the best backing, but the only reason that if I had to say anybody else, I would say probably, I don't know.
Or Louisville.
Well, I was about to say
I
Louisville.
was about to say Louisville.
Because Florida State really wants to leave the ACC. Bad. So, looking at this,
Yeah, their buyout's insane.
I'm not happy with how they ended off that season.
Florida State?
Yeah. I'm not even talking about like them not being allowed in the playoffs. Let's be realistic. They wouldn't have performed very well.
No.
They didn't have an offense. Michigan would have torn them apart.
Maybe.
I think so.
Well, thanks, only. I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, you
People
got to
keep
think about
trying
it.
to
Their
say-
team gave up on them. Their first and
Yeah.
second strings just gave up.
I agree, and that's why it was such a
And then they
blowout.
tried fucking suing and all that shit. I just
They
don't
played,
like how
they
they
played the
ended.
poor me card. Oh, we should have been in. It's like, no.
They should have been in. Either way, they should have been in.
Debatable.
I really don't
I
think
think we got like one of the best Rose Bowls in recent memory. And you want to take that away because the team should have been.
the only argument that I have is that no matter what, if you're not going to a big name school, don't even bother.
Florida State's a big name school.
Apparently not.
They
Alabama's
are.
better.
They recruit very well.
So does Alabama.
Well, yeah, obviously it's Alabama.
All I'm
That's what I'm
saying,
saying,
though.
all I'm
Nick Saban.
saying is if Travis didn't go out,
Well, yeah, they would have been in.
Different story.
Travis.
so I mean, yeah, it sucks how they ended, but
I know. It's just, to me, you're always going to have the thought of, like, no matter what,
What
you can
could have
go
been?
undefeated.
what could have been
You can
if
go
he didn't get
undefeated,
hurt?
But it doesn't matter. We're going to do whatever brings in the most money.
It's just a money league.
It's always a money thing. That's fine. And don't get me wrong, I agree with you. The Rose Bowl was amazing. But, what are you going to tell these kids that no matter what, if you play for, let's say, I don't know, Cal. Let's say Cal goes undefeated, but then their quarterback goes out. Well, personally, I think Miami had a better season, even though they had 2 losses. So I guess we'll put Miami in it. To me, it just seems like one of
Well,
those
2
things.
losses, that's way different than 1 loss.
True, but I
To
want
a team that was ranked 3rd.
There's a lot of what ifs about
what I'm
the
saying is,
FSU situation.
if you're not a part of the NCAA, they're bandwagon teams, then you're just not going to get into it.
I also didn't like how the FSU players after the Rose Bowl were like, see, that's why Alabama shouldn't have been in there. Did you see that?
Yeah,
I agree. I don't
You
believe
can't
the whole
pull that
poor
crap.
me thing, but I just didn't like the whole idea of the fact that Alabama.
I just think if they really thought they deserved to be in, they should have played Georgia. That was their. No matter if you like it or not, Georgia is definitely one of the best teams in the country.
Oh yeah, there's no argument.
You want to be in, you go into that Georgia game and you play your fucking best game.
That's what I'm saying. I
And
love
then they
Florida
just-
State, but
they just
they
quit.
acted like bitches about it. I will
Yeah.
admit that. You
It's
can't.
just unfortunate.
Like, you can't go with the whole poor me thing. Like, I get it, but in the same sense, though, I do find it funny that everybody from Georgia played other than Brock Bowers,
Well,
Side
I
note-
don't blame him though. He got hurt earlier in the season.
and that's fine. I
He's
understand.
a first
it.
round talent. His team was gonna handle it no matter fucking what. I mean,
True. Very, very true. I don't know. To me, it just seems funny. Florida State, I love you, but if you're gonna act like a good school, just
be a good school.
I'm
Do
still
the
pissed
best
that they
you
didn't get into the playoffs. But if it was a 12-team playoff, it probably would have went off different. To be honest.
Oh, they would have been in if it was 12 team.
Oh yeah, I'm not arguing.
What
that.
did they get dropped to? 6th? 5th or 6th? 5th. Yeah, and Georgia dropped to 6th.
So now,
I also didn't like how Ohio State ended off. How many players didn't play for them?
yeah.
And then they get beat by Missouri, and Missouri's like, "Oh, see, we're better than the Big Ten." Nah, I think if Honda McCord and Who's
Fleming
Fleming.
transferred out.
Their second Igbuka, he played for a little bit, didn't he? In that game?
Mecca and Buka.
Yeah. I feel like he played like half that game or something.
Oh, that Missouri game?
Yeah.
And
And then Harrison didn't play. You get that offense on there, I don't think Missouri won that game.
Did you see that Fleming transferred to Penn State?
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
did you see that Tua's brother is entering the
Yeah, I
transfer portal
know.
again?
That's only his second time, but because they're
Well, I
allowed
say
to
again
transfer.
because normally you do it once.
Well,
People just
yeah,
need to stop
but
saying committed at this point because like no one's ever committed to one school anymore.
I can't blame Talia though. I can't blame him. He was the best player on that team the whole time he was there.
Where do you think he's gonna go?
Probably a team with a better fucking team.
Maryland wasn't bad though.
Yeah, they competed, but I just don't think
The only unfortunate-
Loxley was a good enough coach.
Well, the only unfortunate thing about Maryland is just the fact that
Imagine he went to Ohio State. Yeah, no, I'm just saying imagine he did though.
he'll probably
That would be an upgrade for Ohio State.
Mhm.
He's a damn good quarterback. He does throw a ton of interceptions when the game matters most, though.
No, but I mean, let's be honest. That Michigan Maryland game that was way fucking closer than it should have been.
Yeah, I saw it coming though.
Mhm.
It was between the Penn State and Ohio State game
Mhm.
at Maryland. Trap games happen.
All right, so moving on from the ACC, I'm currently looking at the
Big
2024 Big 12. So out of all of those teams, like I said, if I had to put my money on any of them, I'm going to say Oklahoma State first, just because of how big they already are in the Big 12,
Utah,
or Arizona.
Colorado. We'll see on them.
I hope Colorado has a downfall.
Oh, who was the worst team in the ACC, by the way?
Worst.
Yeah.
Probably Stanford. Their ass.
All right, let me take a look.
Or Georgia Tech. They're fucking bad too.
Well, no, you can't say that because Georgia Tech damn near beat Georgia. But I will
Oh,
say,
and they beat Miami.
yeah. So if
Oh,
I had to
yeah.
put my money on it, I would say either
I don't know what Wake Forest has done this year at all.
I'm probably going to go with Stanford.
I'd say
They're
Stanford.
not a football school.
At least
No, they're not.
anymore. Not since Christian McCaffrey left.
So yeah, if I had to put my money on one of them, I would probably say Oklahoma State.
You know that's a good pick, but what about Kansas?
Kansas is just Kansas.
Or they just had a good
They
year.
start off.
They had a
hot,
good
man.
year. They had a good year.
I'd
That's
say
all I'm gonna
Oklahoma State's definitely the best one up there.
Because who do they play against their bowl game? UNLV.
I'm not sure.
I don't even remember.
I think it was UNLV, and they're getting all excited because they beat a Group of 5 school. So
Although you can't sleep on Utah.
You can. I feel like the fact
They
Utah.
didn't have their starting quarterback
Yeah.
for the entire season, and he's coming back next year.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, remember I asked you guys who do you think is going to be a power team in 5 years, not next year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. See, I forgot.
Oh,
That's
my
why I
bad.
still
Sorry.
say-
Okay.
That's why I'm still saying
I
Oklahoma
wouldn't.
State
I don't know if I'd put my money on Oklahoma State.
I still say Utah.
or Arizona. I really think Arizona is just one of those.
I think in
teams.
5 years, Colorado could be good
if
Deion
Deion stays,
stays there.
because what if Deion gets a better deal for?
TCU was a
Any-
1-year done deal.
Yep.
They're a fall off now.
The worst team, though?
BYU is
Yeah,
not
they benefited
good.
off of Michigan just having the worst game of the season.
Yep.
If I had to guess one of these teams though to fall off, I'm definitely going to put my money on Baylor. When's the last time Baylor was as dominant as they were? I mean, I could
Been a few
argue.
years.
I can argue that pretty much every team on here had a pretty okay season other than Baylor.
Texas Tech is always average.
Iowa State.
They normally finish like 6-6.
Iowa State
So-
even had a better year than Baylor.
I wouldn't consider that a fall off though. If they're consistently 6-6, they're just a bad team.
Mhm.
I mean, they're a mediocre team. But I say they have a good year and then they fall off.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still putting my money on Oklahoma State or Arizona. I think
I could see Arizona's falling off though. Maybe they're one of those teams
If-
that just has a good team or a good year and then they.
It all depends on if like the core value of that team just stays. Because I know isn't that coach newer?
I actually can't remember who's coaching them.
I'm not gonna even get into it because then we're gonna spend all day doing that. So who did you guys say? Would you say is the big fall off team for the Big 12?
In 5 years, I'm going to stick with Arizona. I don't think they can fall
Arizona.
off.
You think they're both gonna fall off?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to stay where they were. They're good. They're good, but
It's just so hard to say with the transfer portal and everything like that. Anyone can go anywhere now, and it's Just hard to say.
Next one on the left. Click on the actual link. Yep. Now right click that.
I could probably just zoom in on it.
There you go.
Not the best picture, but
We can still tell because we know. Okay.
it's cool that Texas and Texas A&M are gonna be able to play again though.
Yeah, that
Those
is
are
gonna be
actual
very
rivals.
interesting. Yeah, so looking at this, I still think the dominant team. I don't know.
You can read.
You know what? 5 years?
5 years from now,
Say Alabama could fall off.
Alabama is falling off.
But that's
Once
related to the
Saban's
playoffs.
gone-
Let's be honest, Saban's going to be either done this year or next. He has literally no reason to stay there anymore. He's been there for what, since 2007?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, he's been there for damn near 20 years.
He has 6 national championships.
I think he's good.
Yeah.
The fact that he even made the playoffs this year and lost, he probably should sit there and think to himself, you know what? I had a hell of a career here at Alabama.
What did you say he was? 72?
72.
Yeah.
He's the second oldest coach in NCAA. The oldest one's still, I'm pretty sure, Duke's coach, who's 73. Yeah, but if I had to put my money on any team in 5 years, Vanderbilt, no argument. No, Vanderbilt's actually the worst team in my opinion.
They're at the bottom. They can only go up.
I really think
Vanderbilt's
Texas,
good in baseball.
I'm going to go with Texas. And I'll be honest with you. I think
Ooh, that's a good one.
if Arch stays, which I don't think he will,
Think he's going to transfer?
Can we talk about how
'Cause yours is
they,
coming
at one
back.
Because yours
point,
is coming
Texas
back.
I
had
don't think
all
he's gonna
those good
transfer.
quarterbacks? Like, their recruitment for quarterbacks this year was insane. Like, how did they even do that?
look 'em horns, baby. That's all I got to say.
Man, they were stacked
Mhm.
until, what was it, Malik Willis, Arch Manning, and who else?
Quinn.
That's right, the Ewers.
Quinn's
Yep.
the starter.
That's right. That's
I
insane.
think Manning's second string.
Yeah.
Because it looked like he was getting ready to play in that game.
He was until Quinn said he was like, I'm back. But honestly, Quinn Ewers is a hell of a quarterback too.
It was kind of a bad pass on the last attempt. But
Mhm.
I mean, if he would have just threw it into the end zone, it would have been a touchdown, and they would have won that game.
Right.
But he threw it to the outside, to the out of bounds, to their best receiver.
So
I could agree with Texas, though.
You're gonna agree with
Yeah,
me?
they always recruit well. Georgia, I mean, you can't go wrong playing with Georgia.
Alabama's still gonna be a top 5 team out of that, but honestly, I think if I had to put my money on it, I'm putting it on the Longhorns. They're the newest rendition of the SEC. I mean, Oklahoma's good, but they're not as good as
I would
Texas
put
in my
them on
opinion.
my fall off list.
Oklahoma?
Yeah, I could see them falling off.
Well, yeah, because look at the game between Oklahoma State. They stomped the shit out of them.
Then again, they beat Texas.
What about
So-
Florida?
Florida's falling off.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Florida State runs Florida. Miami doesn't do shit. Florida doesn't do shit. Florida State runs Florida.
Yeah, Florida hasn't really been respectful in
No.
a few years now.
Tim Tebow just needs to come out of retirement and just go back.
That's not how that works.
he
I feel like
can
LSU
pull a Bobby Boucher.
will always be getting better.
He does night school. I mean, hell, that they have a kicker from Virginia who's 35.
Ole Miss is looking good.
Ole Miss is looking good.
If Lane Kiffin stays there, they could be on the up. And they're a 10 win. Actually, no, they won 11 games this year.
So fall off school, though, I agree with you on Florida. I agree with you on Oklahoma State. And I also will say South Carolina because Clemson runs South Carolina.
Facts.
I mean, sure, South Carolina is in the SEC, but they're always kind of the laughing stock. And let's be honest, I feel like more people wear orange and purple than the Gamecock colors.
They were only
I
good.
would probably wear a. Like, if I was just going based on color alone, I'd probably go with the South Carolina jersey over a Clemson jersey.
I don't know those purple ones though.
The last time they were relevant was
I
like
don't-
last
not
year, wasn't it?
purple.
I like purple.
With Spencer Rattler. They made a good little run at the end there.
Is he going to the pros or is he staying?
I have no
I
idea.
think I don't think he's coming back.
So, Mike, I don't know if I heard what your opinions were on that one. On who your
Fall
fall off and big teams were.
Shoot, man, go back. Okay. I'd say-
They usually start off pretty strong.
I see the teams that are going to fall off are going to be Florida, for sure.
Don't forget about Missouri though. They're not a shit team. The guys completely stole your logo, but you know.
Dude, I know.
Every time
Dude,
Ohio
I
State
was
lost to
watching
two
that-
Block M teams.
Yeah.
Dude, I was watching that Missouri versus Ohio State. And I'm like, dude, they have the same exact M on their helmet. Like,
Oh, they did that
who
on
allowed
purpose.
that? Who allowed that?
It is
Just like
slightly
Delaware
different.
has the Wolverine wing on their helmet.
right.
Like,
It's a worse blue though.
I know. Why couldn't it have been on a better team?
It is. From Michigan.
Yeah, I'm saying the wing though, a better team could represent it than Delaware.
Delaware has got a sick logo. I don't love cartoon logos that much, but I do like Delaware's. Delaware's got that cartoon blue hand.
I'm going to start off with fall off. I think USC is going to fall off. They recruit well, but
Wait, hold on. We're transferring to Big Ten now.
sorry, I'm just going to have you. I wanted to start on that one.
Okay, go ahead. I'll let you say it.
I think my fall off is going to be USC.
Anybody else?
Anytime that they've played a good defense, they lose the fucking game.
True.
Now they're going to a conference that plays defense, but no offense on most of it. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But
Anybody else think's gonna fall off? I'm looking at two right now that just so happen to be in the same state.
it's going to fall off.
I could say USC always does good. But
I want to see if you see what
Okay.
I'm seeing.
You think Michigan's going to fall off? I was going to say.
two teams in the same state? Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Northwestern Illinois. They're already at the bottom. You
That's what
can't
I'm
fall
I
off.
was
when
thinking.
they're
I thought you
already
meant
at the bottom.
Purdue, Indiana.
Them too.
Oh, okay.
Both
I was
Illinois
saying
and
you
Indiana
can't
did it.
fall off if you're already at the bottom.
What I'm saying is, though, they might not even be a part of the Big Ten eventually.
No, I can see them staying.
I don't know. Well, granted, we are talking about football.
Think-
Indiana dominates basketball.
Rutgers needs to fucking leave the Big Ten.
Purdue also dominates basketball. Illinois also dominates.
So who do you say? Dominate and fall off.
Dominating consistently, it's going to be Oregon, Washington, Michigan, Ohio State. Maybe Penn State, but
Who's falling off?
falling off, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to see USC's tough. Because
They could do well,
they can and sometimes they don't.
but Riley.
I'm
what's
not
his last
saying
name?
USC's going to fall
Riley-
off. I'm going to leave them out of that because they're
Their-
consistent with their
their
recruiting.
coach.
Oh,
Riley.
Okay. I
You
say
remember what
Nebraska,
USC's coach is?
USC. It's
Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley. Yep.
He does great on offense. He's consistently bad on defense. I think that
Well,
Bites him in
when
the
both
ass
teams
every
can
single
score
time.
45 points a game, it doesn't end well for your team half the time.
yeah.
Nebraska and
I don't
Rutgers.
know. I don't know if I'd say Nebraska going to fall off. Their coach is a good coach. This was his first year. He even said it at the start of the season. He's like, we're playing for season 2. Or for next season, you know. And he got a really big time transfer in quarterback, I think.
Yeah, I think he did too. And then they were from another Power 5 school.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was.
But now,
It was a big
can
move
Maryland
for them.
bounce back from their quarterback transfer, though?
No.
Maryland's not going to be at the bottom though.
They're not going to be bottom, but it's a big team. It's a big conference, and
Let's be
they're
honest,
gonna
Maryland.
they're going to be toward the bottom.
Let's be honest. I think that if we could, I think to make games more interesting, maybe give away Rutgers and Maryland to the ACC, and we could take. I still have the ACC picture up. I think we could take. I don't know. I think we could trade Rutgers and Maryland for two teams that aren't technically on the Atlantic coast,
Who's that?
like Louisville,
I take Louisville. They're not bad.
and maybe one of the Virginia schools. I don't know. I know that eventually we've had this conversation before where we would make our own perfect Power 5 schools. But that's another conversation for next year when we actually can see how the results of the new Power 5 schools, Power 4 schools. I keep saying Power 5. I mean, let's be honest. Power 2 is not, or the Pac 2 is not going to be a thing. I feel like eventually Oregon State and Washington State can either move. I can't pull off a Notre Dame, though. I feel like they don't have as much of a backing.
That's a team that needs to go to the Big Ten.
Oregon State. Oh, Notre Dame. Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Even though they're technically a part of the ACC.
For basketball.
For most sports.
Sports?
Yeah, the only one that's not.
They shouldn't be, though. Let's be real.
No, I agree with it. I mean, let's be honest. You guys are in the same state as 2 Big Ten teams.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty close to very many Big Ten teams. The closest ACC team you are is, I'm pretty sure, Louisville.
Probably.
But anyway, if I had to put my money on one team, I'm going to put it on. That's tough.
Fall off or?
Oh, fall off is easy. I really think Northwestern needs to go. Northwestern needs to go, or Iowa.
They actually they had a good season compared to last season.
I'm tired of Iowa, though. I think we should trade Iowa for someone in the Big 12.
Yeah, they need to get.
Well, I would rather take West Virginia than Iowa, because at least West Virginia can be a little bit more interesting, and they're pretty fucking close to Big Ten teams anyway.
I don't know. I don't see Iowa leaving. I think they're a traditional Big Ten team. I think they just need to get offense figured out.
Iowa is just one of those teams that I always love looking at the final scores. It's my favorite thing about Iowa games, just to see how much they barely won by.
You know, they got outscored 92-0 against Tennessee, Michigan, and Penn State.
Yep. That makes sense.
And the rest of the season, they allowed 118 points.
That's insane.
Yes.
Yeah, but if I had to put my money on one Big Ten team, I'm going to probably put it on either Ohio State or Oregon. I feel like Washington's going to have their really good year this year, maybe next year. And they're probably going to become one of those like Wisconsin's or Penn States where they're good, but they're not going to be like contender-wise good. Because Washington's a hell of a team this year.
Yeah, but they're also
but everybody's leaving. So
6th-year players.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of those high school recruiting videos yesterday, and half of them I saw were Ohio State or Alabama or the other one. I saw one committed to like a team that I was actually like shocked at. I was like, what? I think it was like Stanford or something. I'm like, okay.
They offered him some money.
Yeah.
Who was it? There was a team that just landed. What team was it? They landed the number 1 quarterback, the number 1 receiver, and the number 1 of another player.
LSU.
It's Ohio State.
LSU.
You're right, it is LSU.
Yeah.
Yep. LSU.
God damn it. But I commented on that.
Because
Well, you need to focus on your defense. That's what lost your games.
Because Bryce Underwood just committed to LSU.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So staying on sports, but I feel like we can get off of it. Have you guys seen the whole controversy with Pat McAfee lately?
No.
No.
You guys haven't seen that?
Nope.
Let's see if there's just an article if I type in.
I did just find out the other day that my dad absolutely hates him.
Why?
Pat
I'm not a big
McAfee.
fan.
Because he's
I
obnoxious.
don't hate him. He's a what?
Because my dad thinks he's obnoxious.
Oh, I agree.
Yes.
I will say though, I laughed my ass off when he was talking about Jalen Milroe's clothing brand. The guy was talking about it.
Yes.
That is not what I thought.
That's not what I thought he was going to say. And he's like, what do you think I was going to say? Like, what?
Okay, so top stories. There we go. So Pat McAfee accuses ESPN executive of sabotaging his show. So obviously Pat McAfee did his own thing. He was on YouTube. He still does that, all that. And ESPN picked him up because they really think that like he could probably put them in the right direction. And whether you hate him or not, Pat McAfee's good for he's good for sports.
Yeah.
I think because he knows the people.
He's a character.
He knows how to do it. But the reason why people are going after him so much is because he keeps having people on like Aaron Rodgers and I guess you would say controversial sports people because, you know,
People that don't exactly
align with
left.
ESPN's. Yeah. So, and that's what the ESPN executive is doing. He's been sabotaging their shows. Apparently, when Aaron Rodgers was on his latest show, it wasn't filmed on the ESPN side. but it was on his YouTube channel. So I really do think ESPN, who is owned by Disney, is trying to put out a message saying that they don't really want a guy like Pat McAfee on there because they think they're big enough. But let's be honest, ESPN's a dying network. It is. The only reason why they're alive is because of their sports programs. I don't know anybody that watches Stephen A. Smith. I don't know anybody that watches any of those shows. The only show that keeps that channel on is him. I don't know anybody else. Pat McAfee really changed ESPN. He's getting the people. He's doing a bunch of different interviews and stuff that actually keeping people interested because he's not like, so back in your college days, we said, no, he's saying, like, you're a fucking badass in college, man. Talk to me about it. I'm like, that's the shit that we like to see anyway.
Yeah, more of a real
real person. Like,
not a script reader.
Exactly, which is what Stephen A. Smith is.
I can't stand him.
No, I can't stand Stephen A. either. I agree with
Paul Feinbaum. The dude hates Michigan. Although he's kind of changed his perspective a little bit. He's like, now he's not saying that it's going to be a stain.
I even feel like Shannon Sharp is kind of one of those script readers too.
Think so?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he just have a big interview with fucking what's his name?
Yeah. You didn't watch it?
I
sent you the link.
I know you didn't. I didn't watch it.
All right, we'll talk about that here soon.
What's his name?
Cat
something?
Cat Williams.
Cat
Yeah,
Williams. Yeah.
But
it's
anyway.
funny as shit. But no, I didn't watch it.
Okay, so we'll talk about it a little bit then. So personally, what do you think Pat should do? I think he should leave. I think he's got such a big enough following on YouTube anyway. I mean, where's my phone?
I personally don't care about Pat McAfee.
I know you don't. But my point is, it's not Pat McAfee. It's the idea of having somebody like him on ESPN. Because let's be honest, he's not, like you said, he's not a script reader.
I do like him for the college game days.
He's funny. I mean, he puts a perspective on that.
And I appreciate him always picking against Michigan. Because it's worked out. Pick fucking Washington, asshole.
Yeah, so Pat McAfee's got 2.4 million subscribers on YouTube. He does a show every single day. Well, except Saturdays and Sundays because he's doing stuff for the weekend. But, I mean, let's be honest. I feel like he probably would do way better on a platform like YouTube or maybe going somewhere else like his own version of YouTube. Because there's other streaming services out there that aren't as restricted as YouTube, I feel like. Because YouTube is, in the same sense, kind of one of those things where if you don't say the right things, they're probably not going to like it. Mm-hmm. There's other social media platforms that he obviously could get a following. And I think the main thing is that putting more people out there like him, I feel like is better for sports because that's what real fans interact like. I really don't think Stephen A. really watches sports. I really feel like he watches highlights and then kind of just judges his opinion.
Well, I think he's more of a basketball guy anyway. Stop talking football. I don't think you really know football all that
I will agree with him on the Cowboys, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of
Do you like
people,
the Cowboys?
Yeah, not really.
We'll just say no on that one.
Yeah. Even Carly hates the Cowboys.
Yeah, they're not.
Especially after the whole Detroit situation.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that.
I mean, I like the logo. That star is clean. They have a really nice stadium.
But Dak's a dick.
But to be fair, I don't like any other team
his hit
besides
movements,
Detroit. So
his hit movements, though?
Yeah, I bet you like that, don't you?
I get it. So before we move on to the whole Cat Williams thing, because I definitely want to get your guys' opinion on that, can you pronounce this guy's name for me, please?
sure.
Oh, no, I'm not going to.
No, I'll let Mike do it.
I'm just start with a K.
So he is.
So he went viral, I see.
Kaniga.
Huh?
Kaniga.
No, it's exactly what you think it is.
Yeah, I know.
I saw an interview of this guy talking
Set me up
to.
here.
Oh, did you even know what he looks like?
No.
Oh, he's a whitey.
Yeah, he's a white dude.
Scroll down.
Although I have seen his name before.
Don't know what that is.
Basketball highlights again.
Apparently, he's also a basketball star. Yep, there he is. So, Mr. Noah K, let's call him.
I think it's okay to spell out his last name.
Go ahead.
Noah Knigga.
So no hard R. But
I'm assuming the K is silent.
it's not.
No?
No, it's exactly what it looks like. I saw this guy interviewing his dad, who must be some type of coach or wherever he's from, because I saw a video of him like, reporting live for Tiger football or something. This is coach, and it's exactly how it looks.
Say it.
No. No, because like I said, this is just one video. I need to see him, but
You said the K wasn't.
Yeah.
It is.
it's not silent.
Then say it.
No.
I don't think you understand.
We're just gonna move on from the pronunciation. But all I will say though is that he is he's been looking at Power 5 schools, and I think the one that he's been looking at the most is West Virginia recently. So the only thing I will say is I cannot wait for college football. And watching him getting announced.
Yes.
It's a good thing he plays linebacker.
Yeah.
So his name doesn't get announced a whole lot. He's
But-
transferred to quarterback.
Hmm.
They
You know-
say his name all the time.
You know what? How would I look
How
that
many
up?
tabs can I have open?
Oh, I can do a lot of these, honestly.
You.
Much better.
So, that's something we could react to. What's the word? Would you just say college commits names?
Crazy names, sure.
College commits, yeah.
There's college crazy names. College football crazy names.
Kool-Aid McKinstry.
There's 2 of them.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, there's another one coming up.
Are you serious?
The coldest Crawford. General Booty from the Sooners. Best names of college football. Carly, you gotta. Oh yeah. By the way, we do have an audience. Carly's off in the corner, so if you ever hear a clap, that's her. Carly, you want to clap for the audience? No.
I hope that. I hope the
I'm
mics
good.
pick that up.
We need to get the laughing sound effects that we do get in TV
We do.
I
shows.
do have something to say about the
What?
I saw.
Oh.
I saw a real person. Their name was Michael Hunt. You call him Mike.
My cunt.
Oh, I see. Okay. I gotcha.
A real person.
Okay.
A real person.
I'm like, where's this going? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that is a good one.
So first of all, we got Mr. Kool-Aid McKinstry, cornerback from Alabama.
He's pretty good.
He is.
But you know that play where Donovan Edwards threw the ball back to JJ, caught it one-handed?
Yep.
He wouldn't have.
That was sick.
Yeah, I see it. But he threw the ball. Kool-Aid started running down toward the quarterback. If he didn't do that, Roman wouldn't have been open. So thanks, Kool-Aid.
Thank you, Kool-Aid.
Thank you, Kool-Aid.
So Justin, would you like to read this one?
Pig Cage.
Pig Cage, cornerback out of UTSA.
Committed to UTSA.
Okay, who names their
Wait,
child
these
that?
are all
Assholes.
I think these are all like current players.
That's fine.
That's okay.
So we got General Booty, quarterback out of Oklahoma.
QB.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
I think he's a second stringer.
Oh, he's position changed to tight end. I was gonna say he looks more like a tight end to me.
Some of these names, I tell you. Dakoldis Crawford, I think, has one of the coolest names. Because that's a pretty sick name. Dakoldis Crawford.
He signed an NIL
To
deal.
Nebraska.
He signed an NIL deal with an AC company.
Why wouldn't you?
Smart.
What's up?
Scroll down a little bit.
It's me, Dakotas.
Dakota.
Here with
SOS Heating and Cooling is excited to introduce our new spokesperson, Huskers receiver Dakoldis Crawford. If anyone knows which HVAC company is the coldest, is the coldest in Nebraska, it's him. You'll be seeing a lot more with him soon.
Oh, I fucking hope so.
That's
I cannot
definitely
wait to see
the
these
coldest
commercials.
AC company.
All right, Mike, what we got here?
Storm Duck.
It's interesting.
That's an interesting
He
last
needs to
name.
play for Oregon. Come on.
I know. What the hell?
No, he's playing for another bird team next year, apparently.
Oh, is he?
That's awesome. I know.
Storm Duck, and then we got
Shitta Silla. Shitta Silla. Sounds like a medicine.
Then we got
Booby Curry.
Booby Curry out of Buffalo.
Booby Miles. Fat Watts.
Fat Watts.
Receiver on a 2 lane. That's with a PH.
Major Burns.
I knew about Major Burns. He's a safety, right? Yeah. Squirrel White.
Never heard of him.
I just love to think of like, I would love to be a fly on the wall for like just the parents signing the birth certificate and just why.
Juice Wells.
Juice Wells out of South Carolina. We got Fish McWilliams. I knew about that. He plays for UAB.
Fish. What a name.
What? Cavassier Smoke.
Cavassier.
Running back for Colorado. That's a sick name too.
Wearing a Kentucky jersey. Nice.
He wants all that smoke.
Exactly. Then we got Steel Chambers.
Okay, that's actually
It is a cool name.
badass.
Especially for a linebacker.
Oh, and then
I don't know, terrible choice in schools, but that's
Yep,
fine.
I agree.
We got Chief Borders, linebacker for Nebraska. Then we got Buck Coors.
Wyoming.
There's Buck. Tiger Shanks. That's a
Tiger Shanks. That's
that's a very interesting one.
Demon Clowney.
Demon Clowney.
It's probably more like Damon or something like that.
Demetrius.
Go ahead, Mike. What's that one?
Blazin' Lone Wong. Lona Wong. Sorry.
Yeah, he looks like a blazing.
Looks fast. Sure.
What is he?
Defensive
DL.
line. He doesn't really look like a D line.
Rowdy Beers.
Howdy Pierce.
Badass name.
Oh, these are hilarious. Wait, is this the video? This is the video I saw. Okay, he is let's say a certain scent, so I think we could let him say it.
Light skin.
You wanna me to play this?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a
It's
1 minute
only a
video. Wants to.
College football names are the funniest thing in sports, point blank, period. There's been Key and Peele skits about them. Everybody knows how crazy they get. This season alone, there was 2 players named Kool-Aid McKinstry and Dakotas Crawford. But there is a high school kid right now out of Indiana who's about to change the game. His name is Noah Nigga. Noah
He's
Nigga.
black, so it's okay.
This tweet just went viral because he announced he was taking a visit to West Virginia. West Virginia is a Power 5 school, which means you could realistically have ESPN commentators having to say this motherfucker's name. Just imagine Chris Fowler, like, tipped at the line, intercepted by Nigga. He's in the clear to the 10.
Accepted by
Nigga
Mr.
in the
King.
end zone. Bro, like, people don't know. He is going to have the sports media industry in shambles, brother. And since this has gone viral, there's been a bunch of people coming out and saying, like, oh my God, that's awful. If I had that last name, I would have to go get it legally changed. That's horrible. Brother, he is possibly going to school in Morgantown, West Virginia. He is going to break every single jersey sale record that school has. Hell no, I'm not
so
changing
true.
shit. Hell no. There's pride in that nigga name.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, I will agree with him on that though. Could you just imagine having that? Just imagine having that jersey.
I wouldn't change it.
It is probably, like he said, it'll probably be sold out the moment he commits somewhere.
And it won't even be fucking, what was it, West Virginia?
Yeah.
Won't even be West Virginia.
I
Or all
hope it's
West Virginia.
I hope it's Michigan.
When he comes to Michigan?
He's from Indiana.
Yeah, but he's probably like a low star recruit, though.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I think we should sign him
It does.
just for NIL deals alone.
We?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know you're a Michigan fan.
I didn't say that.
You said we.
We
I have to be a Michigan fan to do the
You do.
business.
You can't say we if you're not a Michigan fan.
We are farmers.
Ba-dum.
bump it up, 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 up.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
never say we and Michigan in the same sentence.
Yeah.
You switch coat.
switch coat.
You're
Anyway,
wearing the fucking Cleveland Browns.
it's a sick sweatshirt. I like it.
Here's
It
one
is
of
a
the
nice
logos
sweatshirt,
of the
but-
team.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I can't stand this guy.
All right, so let's definitely
Why'd you
talk.
say we then?
Gay.
Duh.
I know you are, but what am I?
Wasn't there a guy with the last name Gay that played for Michigan?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got Butt.
Jake Butt,
Jake Butt.
best Michigan tight end of all time.
Yeah, so Noah K could easily join. Anyway, let's just move on. So, do you know who this man is?
They need to fucking combine names. The coldest.
The coldest butt.
No, I'm not saying Butt. The other guy. The one I'm
Gotcha.
not saying.
Gosh,
Mr. K.
Mr. K.
So, Mike, do you know who this man is?
I sure do.
Who is it?
Wow, Cat Williams.
It's Cat Williams. So, have you guys know anything about the interview that he's done recently with Mr.
Yes,
I've seen a bunch
he's
of
called
stuff.
out a lot of people.
He's calling out fucking
Everyone.
everybody.
This
So,
podcast blew up
oh yeah,
with him on it.
it was like, it was 2 hours and 46 minutes long. So he was calling out freaking everybody, and everybody's responding with their own thing. But I feel like the three people that he went after the biggest were Steve Harvey. He went after Ludacris too, and who's the other?
What
Kevin
did
Hart.
Ludacris do?
Well, he was saying how apparently him and Ludacris were supposed to go into like a whole Illuminati situation. They were gonna get. What are you laughing at?
I just saw that you wrote that
Oh, Mr. Noah's name.
down. Yeah.
Of course, I had to. So they were.
Sorry,
going-
it's racist if you spelled it out too.
I wrote it the way it's spelled. I'm not trying to be mispronouncing stuff.
Alright, keep going with the interview.
But anyway, he was talking. He was saying that he was going to some Illuminati style meeting with Ludacris and him, and apparently, if whoever joined the Illuminati was going to get a major multi-movie deal. So when you think about it, ever since Fast and Furious came out, how many movies has Ludacris been in? All of them.
Yeah. From the second one on, except for the third.
So they were saying how that could have been Cat, but he was just saying how he's glad he didn't do it. And something I found out about Cat during that interview is he's a very, very religious man. He grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, and apparently he moved out of his parents' house when he was 13. He was from Cincinnati, went all the way down to Florida, eventually started selling car radios and stuff, and then he eventually became a comedian. And honestly, I think Cat's one of the funniest guys out there.
Oh, he's hilarious.
But he was calling out a lot of freaking, calling out everybody. I think the one that got me is he was calling Steve Harvey out pretty freaking bad. And let's be honest, I mean, does anybody have anything against Steve Harvey?
No.
Yeah, he called him Mr. Potato Head. That part made me cry, laughing so hard. It did. He goes, "How you gonna be out here acting like you a badass when you're looking like Mr. Potato Head?" It's like, yep. But he was saying how that there was this comedy group called the Kings of Comedy, and Bernie Mac was supposed to be on it.
Bernie Mac was hilarious too.
Yeah, but here's the thing: everybody didn't like Bernie, and the one guy that didn't like Bernie the most was Steve Harvey. And he was calling him out, and he was saying that he was ugly, he was too black, he had a high top fade, he looked
Too
gross.
black.
Yeah, he was. He was saying that if you weren't like a lighter skinned person, then you're just not going to be as big in Hollywood. And I'm just like, that's kind of messed up, Steve, because you're not light skinned either. But then all of a sudden, Steve pretty much copied his exact style. And the thing that I didn't know is that I knew Steve Harvey grew up as a comedian. He came up, that's how he's known. But he stole a lot of jokes apparently. And you know, when Cat was calling him out, I didn't really like, you hear him accusing stuff and you don't really know a ton about it until you watch like side by side videos of him flat out copying Cat's skits and Bernie Mac's skits. I was like, what the hell? And he was sitting there saying, he's like, I just don't like the idea that he keeps saying that he's the best, even though he pretty much shit on Bernie Mac for no reason. Everybody was shitting on Bernie Mac, but Bernie was funny. The Bernie Mac show was like hilarious growing up. I thought that was such a funny show. And he's a funny person, but the only reason why they're saying a bunch of shit is because he's not around anymore. But the thing that bothered me the most is just the fact that Cat was saying how Steve literally just like took his life story. Steve was saying how he grew up in in a small house and he had to move down to Florida and do all this stuff. And he lied. When Steve came around, he was a great comedian apparently, and he was getting paid all that money right away because he knew people like Bernie, he knew people like D.L. Hewley, and getting all that stuff up in the Kings of Comedy. I just think it's very interesting about all the shit that he called out. And then Cat's a smart dude. That's all I know. The more I heard him talk, I'm like, man, he's not as dumb as I thought because, let's be honest, Cat Williams he's a character. He plays a very specific character, and in every single movie I've ever seen Cat, he's always the same way. But when you actually listen to him speak for himself, he's nothing like how he plays, which is something I can respect. And then he called out this guy right here, Cedric the Entertainer. Have you ever seen him?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So listening to him talk about Cedric was really funny too, because Cedric's another one of those people that copied Cat, and they don't want to admit it. It's just funny because, my favorite thing is when he's like, in Hollywood, you either got to be a singer, a dancer, or some type of comedian. And Cedric can't do none of that shit. How are you going to be called the entertainer, but you can't entertain nobody? He goes, here's the thing. How many specials do I have on Netflix? And Shannon was like, he goes, I have 12, and I have another one coming on the way. Look up Cedric's. So Cedric was a comedian, but you can't find any of his comedy specials. Nowhere. But, yeah. It was a very interesting thing, and he was calling out freaking everybody. I mean, look. There's that high top fade. Yeah. I will say, well, I guess, yeah. But they definitely were saying how they wanted to do another Kings of Comedy. And they called up Cat. They wanted to say, Cat, you're one of the Kings of Comedy. You should definitely be on this tour. But Bernie wasn't allowed to be on that tour. And Cat said, no. How are you not going to have Bernie Mac, one of the original people, and not be like, no, you can't call him out because everybody else up there sucks. I mean, D.L. Hewley is funny. But listening to Cedric and Steve Harvey's performances after I found out that they were stolen, I'm like, okay, well, what's their original material? They don't have any. They pretty much just stole their way up there. I'm just like, that's crazy to think about. So he was calling out all different types of comedians. He was calling out freaking everybody. And, it's crazy when you sit there and think about listening to almost a 3-hour podcast, and it flies by, and he is calling people out the whole freaking time. And then all of a sudden, everybody's losing their shit because everybody's responding to these things. Ludacris flat out said, he's like, you can't hate on me because I'm better than you. And Cat's like, I'm not saying that, but you kind of stole your way into Hollywood, and the same thing with these comedians. And then he started calling out Kevin Hart. And I haven't personally seen Kevin Hart's response. I don't know if he did, but he was saying how one thing he did say, he's like, don't you find it funny that all these comedians have wives that look exactly the same? And they do. They're all alien-looking motherfuckers, as Cat Williams said. But he called out Kevin Hart for being a hack. He goes, let's be honest. When you were younger, Kevin Hart was probably the funniest thing to you, wasn't he? Everybody was saying his lines.
Yeah, he had really good specials.
But when you think about it, go back and look at it, is it as funny as you think it is? I don't know. Because now that I think about it, I rewatched some of my favorite skits from Kevin Hart. I mean, I think Kevin Hart got lucky. I think he knew people, and that's why he got to where he was. But thinking about it, when he became an actor and became a big Hollywood star, I didn't think he was as funny in Hollywood. I mean, he doesn't do as much comedy specials, and I actually saw his latest comedy special that he did back in 2020, and I didn't laugh at all. And then I really started thinking to myself, I'm like, is Kevin Hart funny? I don't know.
His one joke about having guns in his house is pretty funny. Boom, bathroom gun.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I thought that one was pretty good.
And nobody can deny that, the teacher one, where he was like, my mama told me to tell you.
Yeah.
To mind your damn motherfucking business, bitch.
But the way he says bitches, but
I don't know. Cat called out a lot of things, and if you guys haven't seen it, I definitely recommend you listening to it. It is a longer. It's long, but
I listen to JRE. It's fine.
Yeah,
literally listened to the last Protect Our Parks. They did cut it into 2 episodes. It was over 5 hours long. Yeah.
The longest podcast I think I've ever listened to was the one that Joe Rogan did with Mr. I think it was Alex Jones. He did it like almost a 5-hour podcast.
Yeah, I believe it.
I think it was like 4 hours and 40 minutes. Yeah, but is there anything that says accusations? How do you spell accusations?
ACC USA. Or that left one, yeah.
Yeah, so it says when comedian Cat Williams made his appearance on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay YouTube show and podcast, he predicted that the episode would have the internet in shambles, and he was proven right very quickly after. Oh, actually, is this there we go.
An industry plan.
Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first... You know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen.
In a nearly 3-hour appearance on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay podcast, Cat spun wild conspiracy theories and had comedy A-listers in his crosshairs, including Kevin Hart, who he accused of being an industry plant.
Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No.
Kevin fired back. Gotta get that anger up out you, champ. It's honestly sad. Cedric the Entertainer wasn't safe either. Cat accused him of stealing one of his jokes.
He's doing it verbatim. He's just changed my car into a spaceship.
Cedric called it revisionist history, adding, "My career can't be reduced to one joke Cat Williams claims is his." And what about Ludacris?
So there was a crossroads where we were both invited to an Illuminati thing.
Never been Illuminati, only Illuminati. Comedians check your temperature.
I mean, that bar was kind of sick. Chris? Illuminati.
Luna.
Yeah, so Cat's been definitely under some fire recently. But I really don't think he's wrong. At first, obviously, when I listened to it, anybody can claim things, but you see proof behind it, I mean, it's true. And I don't care what Cedric said right there when he's like, oh yeah, one joke doesn't define your career. That's true, but...
One joke can make your career.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Where'd you get that cheese, Danny?
That is.
Where'd you get that cheese,
that didn't
I
make
love
his
that
career,
guy, man.
Shane Gillis is fucking
He's
hilarious.
hilarious, man.
Shane Gillis is...
He's down there at 3 a.m. just...
The fucker, he's been making them at night.
I know he has.
No,
No, I'm not, Dad.
I'm
Yes, I
making
am.
I'm making them at night.
I'm making them at night, Dad.
Yeah, I will say that is probably the last comedy special that had me crying, laughing the whole time. There wasn't one part of that where I wasn't like bawling my eyes laughing at how hilarious it was.
And he's built like a fucking truck.
Yes, he's a big dude.
Yeah, he's like 300 pounds. He's not. I mean, he's technically overweight, but I mean, he's not like fat.
Did you hear when he was telling Joe that he went to like some college football game and he got into the handicap section?
Yeah,
I just walked right in and just did one look the entire time.
he's got a joke in one of his specials, or maybe not a special, but one of his. Like he has a clip. He's like, I got a person with Down syndrome in my family. It almost got me, but
It almost got me, but
It nicked me. It nicked me.
there you go.
Yeah, and then the whole thing. He's just a funny comedian. If you guys don't know who Shane Gillis is, definitely look him up.
You're
yeah.
behind.
Yeah,
He's
so
funny.
hilarious.
His Netflix special's not even that long. I think it's like, I don't even think it's an hour, but it's just watch it. There's no reason why you shouldn't. He's definitely one of the best up and coming comedians out there because he doesn't give a shit and he's just hilarious. Like he's funny. There's
Sneaking
nothing.
grilled cheese sandwiches in their restaurants in case they don't serve grilled cheese sandwiches.
That's probably his one joke that everybody knows right now.
But it's a good fucking joke.
Oh, I'm not denying it. It's a
I don't even.
hilarious joke.
I doubt it's even false. I'm willing to bet it's a
I
real
want to look
fucking story.
up if Shane Gillis. I want to see his Uncle Danny.
There's probably no pictures to be
I know.
honest, but
Then he had that whole joke about how he went to Mount Vernon, George Washington's house, and then he got caught by a guy talking to him about slavery. And the way to get it out is he just put that face talking about, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't mean to do that."
yeah, it was pretty good. It'd be a cool place to go. Hitler's Eagle's Nest.
How do you guys
Where's
feel
that?
about Matt Rife?
Hold on.
Look it up.
I'll-
I don't know
we
exactly.
will
where.
talk about him in a second. But
Look it up.
Eagle's Nest.
Hitler's Eagle Nest. Yeah. Noah K. Hitler's Eagle Nest.
Wouldn't that be cool to see though?
Oh, that
Look at,
looks...
like the mountain range and everything.
Where is this?
Yeah, it's historical. Yeah, I wanted to see you pronounce that.
What? This? Obersalzberg. Oh, this? Kelstein House? Kelstein House? Kelstein House? Where is
It's
it?
still there, and it's a tourist attraction. I saw a picture of it on like Instagram.
Oh, it is in Germany. Okay.
Where else would you think of it?
He's Austrian. I didn't know if it was an Austrian.
Yeah, give a fuck though.
I did not know. Okay, what were you saying though?
Just how you guys feel about him.
About who?
Matt Rife.
As a comedian, I don't think he's as funny. I watch one of his specials. We actually watch one of his specials. The only thing that brings him his fame is definitely his
Crowd work.
interaction with the crowd.
Yeah,
That's all he
probably.
does is go up there and just reacts to just people's stories. Like he doesn't have jokes lined up. It's all about just talking to people and them reacting.
There are people that are known for that though, like fucking Andrew Schultz. He's pretty damn funny, but he mainly does crowd work.
Exactly. That comedian that we saw that one time, like the main headliner, that's exactly what he was. I didn't even think he was that funny, but then he started doing crowd work, and then I'm like, okay, now I understand why you're doing the headline stuff.
Yeah.
We
He was
definitely need to
pretty
go to
funny.
another comedy show.
I agree.
That is something funny. That night was hilarious. I think that one guy, the one joke that he was saying about what was it, Karen bait or something?
I don't remember.
When he's running through white neighborhoods and he has to wear a shirt to let the people know that he's not going to go steal their stuff, and then he was trying to sell the shirts. You remember that?
I remember he had shirts.
Yeah, he had
I remember
shirts.
their shirts. I know their shirts, but I don't remember that story.
And I'll be honest, that one guy that was like really, really shy, I thought he was funnier than the main headliner because he was like acting like he was that nervous, quiet type. I can't remember his jokes, but like he was just funny. He reminded me of kind of what's that one guy's name? There's a comedian out there that kind of does that. He has like that low, like, oh, don't look at me, but I'll make you laugh. I can't remember what his name is though.
I like watching Kill Tony, like shorts and stuff. Those are
the
funny.
guy that's obsessed with rocks. He's funny too. He goes, I don't think I'm special, but I like rocks.
I'm not
I like
Claudia,
rocks.
but I like rocks.
I like rocks. Like any rock? Yeah. I got some rocks right here. And I was like, oh, stop.
There was one clip where he's on stage, but David Lucas is sitting next to Tony. I don't know if you know who David Lucas is. He does roasts and stuff like that. He's fucking hilarious. Well, what's that guy's name? I can't remember his name. The one that we're talking about, the rocks.
Oh, okay. I know who he is though.
Yeah, but he's hilarious. But he was just translating.
Oh,
the words
yeah.
for him.
Oh, yeah. When he was translating for the white audience.
Yeah, typed it in. David Lucas translates. Just type it in there. It'll take you to YouTube.
David Lucas translation.
That one.
How's it going, my friend?
Good, man. That shit fire, man.
What?
Shit fire. Say shit fire.
I'll translate everything he
There we
said.
go.
Tony, he said the show is good. He loves the audience. His experience on Kill Tony is very amazing.
Yeah. I got it. Here you go. You ready? Ready? Yeah.
I got you, Tony. Whatever.
It makes sense.
Let me be Cam's translator. I got you,
Hey,
bro.
real talk. This shit really changed the real nigga life for real. You feel what I'm talking about?
So what he's saying is, since he's became a regular on Kill Tony, more opportunities have opened up for him. He's been able to only go places he dreamed of.
Yeah. And white girls be sucking my dick. Shit, crazy.
What was that?
White girls tend to give him fellatio.
Now I know.
Yeah.
How's it going, my friend?
Good, man. Shit fire, man.
He is funny. Kill Tony is one of those things though that I don't really like watching the whole thing. I kind of just like watching like the highlights though.
Yeah.
Because Kill Tony, like that's a long thing. Isn't it like an hour or two?
Usually around 2 hours.
Yeah, I always tend to like just watching like the highlights of it, especially that guy. Oh, watching Tony and that David Lucas go back and forth with each other. It's like, have you ever
Just
seen
like a
those?
flamingo.
You
I
dress
can't
like an
say
X-Man.
what he says because he usually starts it off with the N-word.
Racial tendencies, but you know,
He's black.
yeah. Like you said, you can say it if you want. Not gonna shit.
Can we not do that? We don't have shock mounts or anything.
I know everything's gonna just sound nice and funny.
Like you.
Oh.
Roasted, bitch.
Ouch.
Boom.
You're still pretty.
Roasted.
So it's okay.
You think he's pretty?
Oh yeah.
I was going to say sexy, but I feel like that was going to be too much.
It's fair.
Being honest here.
Being honest. All right. Is there anything else?
Hey, we're
you guys,
back.
Let's say, is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Well, how you been lately?
I've been
Oh
good.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
You're
been
here. We should talk to you.
We should interview this motherfucker.
Interview me. All right.
Interview.
Sure.
It won't be long, because let's just say that this is our first time technically interviewing something. But let's say that Mike does work for where?
Best Buy.
Which is something that everybody should know. It's the only place that tends
Pretty
to,
popular business.
I don't know
I
any
would say
other
so.
big electronics store. I mean, Radio
Yep.
Shack was up there, but it doesn't exist anymore. So
Micro Center.
Micro Center.
What would you like to know about
Oh.
said work?
What do you do again?
I deliver appliances. So I deliver refrigerators, stoves, washers, dryers. You name it, I deliver them. I also install stuff as well.
What's the heaviest thing you have to do? Or
Refrigerators.
Refrigerators.
Yep.
How much do they weigh on average?
Oh boy, 400 pounds.
You do this with
Really?
somebody?
Fridges?
Yeah. Yep.
I would have figured
So it's always me and a
washers are the
partner.
heaviest.
No.
Or no. Washers are the lightest. It's
Washers
dryers.
actually, dryers are the lightest.
Okay, yeah. I
Washers
just don't
have the
know.
more components in them, so
Yeah.
they get, especially the brand of stuff you get.
Mhm.
What's
Like,
the worst
The
brand to
new
deal with?
shit.
Worst brand is Insignia.
Insignia?
Yeah, they're
quality?
it's Best Buy's brand, but they're the cheapest. So
What about the...
in quality.
Is there anything that's just easy to set up, let's say? What's the easiest to set up, I should say?
A washer. There's nothing that goes into that, or a dryer.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
stoves are pretty easy too. Nothing that's really complicated. Gas line.
Are refrigerators hard?
Not really. There's just it's a lot to do.
Mhm.
It's just a lengthy process, but as far as like difficulty, it's not terrible.
Do you only do appliances?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I deliver TVs.
Okay.
So I don't install TVs though. We have a whole home theater department for that.
Didn't you work in the home theater
Mhm.
department? So,
Yep.
do you mind going down the list of all the jobs you've done? Because you've been there for
Yeah.
6
years.
6 years? Okay.
Yep.
So, how did you start and where you, go to your current?
So let me do my very first job and then just work up the line, or
At
start
Best Buy,
from
yes.
Best Buy and
From
go work
Best
up the
Buy.
line. Okay. So when I first got hired in the Best Buy doing warehouse, and I did that for 4 years, part time, and it took me a long time to get the hang of that, but I became very good in that field. And there was a point to where I was at the end of my time in the warehouse. There was no more I could go. Like I couldn't move up or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to take on home theater. The full timer came up to me and asked me if I would like this opportunity to learn more. I'd make more. So I did. So I learned all like the networking side of things, TVs, all that good stuff.
Okay.
Definitely more on the side of you have to think more. And that's more than likely why I switched over to appliances, is because the whole, like, the job was okay. It's just you have to think a lot. Because you have to go to people's houses and people have Netflix. People have all these stuff with passwords, and half the time people have no idea what their stuff is. And you have to help them sign into everything. Because they paid for an install, and that's what it entails.
Yeah, I can see where that.
Yeah, or setting up people's internet. It's just a lot, and you have to like that kind of work to do it, you know.
So is your current position your favorite position that you've ever had?
No, I'd say my favorite position was when I worked in a warehouse.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess it's.
Not moving fridges.
I still had to move fridges back there too. I unloaded everything too.
Would they be on pallets or anything, or they just?
Some fridges are on pallets, and everything comes off of a truck not on pallets though. Like, yeah.
Do you ever
boxes or?
Everything's in boxes.
Okay.
Do you have a forklift back there, or
no?
Is it all manual?
Yep.
Do you guys have pallet jacks at least?
Yep, pallet jacks.
Oh,
that's how you take everything off the
truck. You guys don't have any forklifts back there of any time?
No, we have a Big Joe, but that's to go up to the top shelves and stuff to grab stuff and come back down.
Scissor lift like things?
It's like just a metal platform that you go up and down.
Oh, the things that you see at like Home Depot.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's as far as like heavy machinery that Best Buy allows us to use.
What do you put on those top shelves? I'm highly doubting you put fridges up there.
Fridges stay on the bottom on the very floor. Stoves, dishwashers, washer dryers, they go up top and all those other shelves. Yeah. The only thing that doesn't get put on shelves is fridges.
So, okay.
Which makes sense.
Justin, do you have any questions? Because I actually have one that I want to ask.
Then ask.
Yeah, go
I
for
don't
it.
know.
If I have to ask something, I will.
Well, I don't know. I just didn't want to completely talk to him. I didn't know if you had questions too. So, one day that I always know that is insane for everybody, whether you're in retail or in general, Black Friday is just one of those days that sucks. Especially for people that work in industries of not appliances, but in the case of just anything that has to do with shopping. So, have you ever been there on Black Friday?
Yes.
How is that like? Is it way worse than I think it is, or is it just another?
I would
day?
say before COVID is when it was what you would imagine Black Friday being.
Mm-hmm.
After COVID, it really, because online is so popular now that everyone just shops online now.
True.
But before COVID and everything, like I remember Black Friday working in the warehouse. I got there at 3 a.m. My shift was 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. Doors open, we get picks because everyone's buying shit. So
what'd you pick? Did you pick anything good?
Oh, a lot of stuff.
And so, is it like one of those situations where as soon as you get there, they're like, "All right, so
pretty much get on the telzone.
Here's the brand new Apple Watches."
That's probably why like Xbox Series X's and stuff were never fucking there.
Yeah, everyone just bought everything.
Well, it's the same situation with that whole Stanley Cup thing from Starbucks. Well, I know, but it's the same situation where apparently every Starbucks got 4 of them, and all the workers got their hands on them first.
And then you fucking sell them for.
They're selling them for like $300.
I'm surprised.
But anyway, continue.
But yeah, you'd go in, and at that point, there'd be so many picks. There'd be like, let's just say, at the peak of one of our holidays, we had 700 picks in our queue, and that's a lot of items to pick. And
so let's say there's, so you say 700, 100 employees, everybody gets 7 items.
God no.
So how does that work out?
For doing picks, there's probably 4 people, and you just go until you can't, because it was always just pick and pick and pick until there's nothing left.
How much of a discount do you guys get?
That depends on the product and how much they discount it for. So what I mean by that is Insignia, we get the most discount on. And we pretty much get it for whatever Best Buy gets it for.
Okay.
So we get the discount of what they get it for.
Okay.
So let's just say, let me bring up a aux cord, an Insignia brand.
Right.
You go on BestBuy.com right now, it's $15. I get it for $1. Because Best Buy gets it for that cheap too. So it just depends on, like Apple products, you get no discount on.
Yeah.
Because Apple says, no, I want all my money.
Makes sense.
So it just depends on the brand and what you buy.
Okay.
Some things you can get $30 off, some things you can get $100 off. So it just depends.
Now, does that employee discount apply year round?
Yes.
Could you still get that aux cord for $1?
So here's the thing about the discount is let's just say something's already discounted from the company. You won't get any more off of that discount if it's already a big discount. So let's just say Best Buy decided to sell a fridge for $900 and it's on sale for $800. If it's already that big of a discount, you put in your cart, it's going to be that same price. It's because Best Buy are already discounted it so much that you're not going to get anything more off of that discount. So unless it's something that Best Buy bought for cheaper, which then you'll get it for a little bit more cheaper. But it just depends on brand. Okay. Pretty much. Yeah, that's complicated.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Any secrets you got about Best Buy?
No, not really.
Is it just another job?
Any slave labor?
Yeah.
Yep, work your ass off.
How many?
Pretty much.
Okay.
And just, there's no secrets.
Is there anything you could say, like, would you recommend what you do in working for Best Buy as a career for people?
You have to be the right person.
What do you mean by that?
As in, you have to have the physical strength for it. Okay. And it's just a demanding job. It's a difficult job as far as physical.
Is your job as difficult as somebody working, let's just say, in the Geek Squad area? Ooh, I have a follow-up after this.
So that's a tougher question because each department is their own knowledge base. Mm-hmm. So you have the people in the store that work on the computers and fixing them and stuff like that. But then you have my job to where it's like you have to go to people's houses. If the fridge or whatnot doesn't fit in their house, you have to take off doors, handles, the whole fridge doors. So it is complicated, but every department in Best Buy has their own thing that you have to be smart and know. So after a certain while, you just get used to it, man.
So how many different departments are there? What would you say?
A lot in Best Buy.
Who has the easiest job out of all of them?
Cashier.
Fair enough. Who do you think your job is the most difficult there? Or is there someone that has more?
I'd say mentally, no. Physically, yes. And that's the main reason why I switched over to appliance in the first place, is because home theater, I liked it, but it's a lot of thinking that's required and problem solving if something doesn't happen. You get a roadblock and you have to find out how to go around it.
Okay.
So after a certain while, I just got tired of it. It just wasn't my field. And so then our appliance full timer asked me if I want to come ride along with them. And I like the lifting part of it, just everything. And I've been here and I've been doing this for about a year. So okay. You just have to like the job. It's not for everybody.
Is this something you see yourself doing for a long time?
Until I figure out what I want to do next.
Yeah.
Or until my body just doesn't allow me. Because I'm young. I'm only 25, so my body can handle all of it. So I'm just going to go as long.
Who's the oldest person that works in your field?
Like for what I do personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, like who do you work with that's the oldest?
I'd say our home theater guy, Phil. He's 66.
Phil's 66?
Yeah, he does all the home theater work, TVs.
The Phil I know?
Not Malone.
Oh, okay.
Phil Stetler. No, not the Phil you know. He works from home now. But I'd say the older person I work with is Phil Stetler. Yep.
Motherfucker.
What?
How long is that? It's still recording, but the fucking frame is.
So everybody might be really getting a very nice close-up.
Yeah. Well, no, it's. Hopefully this doesn't stop it from recording. Check to see if that camera's still on. It is. Can you do some movements? Yeah, it's still on there.
Interesting. All right, I guess. Yeah, I guess for the time being, while we're having technical difficulties, I can still.
It's been an hour and a half.
Well, yeah, I can still see that the audio is recording. So,
yeah.
Justin, did you have any final questions for Mike? I guess. Anything that you want to know about Best Buy?
No, I don't think so. I like shopping there once in a while.
Yeah, there's nothing really much about, nothing complex about my job. It's just getting there, having to remove doors, whatnot, going down a flight of stairs for people's stuff. It's just a lot of physical work, basically, is what I'm getting at. And it's a job where you have to like doing it, or else you're gonna hate it.
Okay.
So
is there anything you want to tell the audience about your job? Would you recommend it? Would you say that this is the job for you if you have whatever he said, the capabilities of wanting to do that?
I mean, if you like
Moving
customer
things.
facing and you like seeing new faces every day and walking into a new puzzle every day, and you like installing appliances, then yeah, I'd say go for it.
Actually, I do have a
Something
question.
new.
How, on your like a daily average, how many installs or deliveries do you make?
So during seasonal, I'd say we average. So Tuesdays are my busiest days, and that can get up to around 13, 14 deliveries.
Man, yeah, that would definitely add up.
Oh yeah, yep, and it slowed down a lot after holidays, but I'd say a good majority, 9-10, is about an average, and then around holidays it kicks up to that 13, 14 delivery mark, and you could be working until 7, 8 o'clock. So you get in at 7, or you get in at 8 o'clock, you load up and go until the day's done. So
Very interesting.
yep, after holidays it slowed down obviously because everyone's done shopping for Christmas and everyone's spent all their dollar bills. So I'm slowing down right now, but once I said about a month, I should be kicking back up hopefully.
Okay.
So
Well, if that's it, Mike, I'd like to thank you for coming back on the podcast. It's always been a pleasure for you joining us.
of course.
Yeah, I mean, you're a guest at.
Pretty much welcome.
I was
on
always
anytime.
wondering when I was going to come back on.
Oh yeah.
My first time being on here, I was a little nervous, but this is awesome.
So
I like it. I like talking to everyone.
You would like to come back on maybe at some point?
And I get to hang out with you guys.
Hell
So,
yeah.
why not?
Cool. Yeah, we're such lovely people to be around.
Oh yeah, especially you.
And
Yeah.
yes, I would come back on if you invited me back.
All right.
I like
Well,
talking.
You got anything to say to the people before you go?
No.
Hey,
Keep watching the podcast. Go Blue.
yeah.
We're going to win tomorrow.
Win that natty.
Win that Natty.
All right.
And hope you guys tune in next week.
So
Fuck
we
yeah.
can either see if
Bring it
these
back.
guys are crying or not.
Yeah, right.
I won't be crying, and if I am, you guys won't be here to see it.
Exactly. All right, everybody. This is Uneducated Guesses. Have a good day. Bye.
See ya.
And clap.
Definitely don't need to clap.
Well, I want to clap like Justin.
That was a good one.